I'm joined by Stuart Rothstein, Chief Financial Officer with Apollo Commercial. We're at REIT Week 2010 in Chicago. Stuart, a lot of people have started to see signs of recovery in the market. In your view, what are the steps that need to take place in order for a real recovery to take hold?
I think at this point we've seen some recovery in asset pricing, and clearly there's been some recapitalization that has taken place, though we still have a long way to go to recapitalize the industry. But I think the bigger issue is really real estate's a lagging indicator until we start seeing meaningful employment growth in the country. I think the operating numbers at most properties are going to be somewhat challenged until we start seeing more people put to work and fill up office buildings and give people more disposable income for retail, and that's really the challenge for the industry.
And what about the CMBS market? How would you describe the overall health there?
Recovering. I think the TALF program was remarkably successful in kickstarting the secondary trading of CMBS product and also in restarting the new issuance through the DDR transaction last year. And we're starting to see small multi-borrower transactions, and I think it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next few months.
And looking out for the second half of this year, what do you think will be the biggest or most important trend in the industry?
I think there's two we look at. In terms of the overall health of the industry, we continue to look at the economic recovery, and is it a real economic recovery, or is it just a somewhat of a stimulus-driven head fake in some respects? And then the other issue that we're still focused on is our view is that there's still a large amount of recapitalization that needs to take place. There's been somewhat of a pretend and extend mentality over the last few years, and we're hoping we'll see more assets find a natural home in terms of a new capital structure and a new ownership at an adjusted basis where people can start productively investing in the assets again.
As CFO, I'm sure you've been peppered with many questions here at REIT Week. What would you say is the most frequent question Apollo investors are asking you?
For us, it's really about how can you deploy capital? Are there deals for you to pursue? What sort of returns can you generate as a relatively new public company, having come just 9 months ago with a thesis that there would be opportunities?
Mm-hmm. And the answer you give them is?
We've put $500 million of assets on the books today at returns that are very consistent with what we told people and in the various buckets that we told people we would invest in. And despite a somewhat challenging environment in terms of amount of transactions to look at, we're still finding places to put our capital.
Great. Sounds exciting. Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
For REIT.com, I'm Matt Bouchard.